And we're live. Thanks for coming back, guys. Today I want to talk about law number 10 from the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. And I want to share with you a couple instances in real life where it worked, where this law was in place. I saw it take place in a business setting, but also in real life. So, Law 10 is avoid the unhappy and unlucky. You can die from someone else's misery. Emotional states are as infectious as diseases. You may feel you are helping the drowning man, but you are only precipitating your own disaster. And it ends with the unfortunate sometimes draw misfortune on themselves. They will also draw it on you. Associate with the happy and the fortunate instead. So he talks about you think you're helping the drowning man, and it takes me back to when I was a kid. I remember I was taking swimming lessons or summer school swimming, and I remember there was this kid that I was maybe, let's just say, like 8 years old, 9 years old, something like that. And there was this kid that was having a hard time in the middle of the pool, and he was by himself. And so I went from the ledge. I wasn't the greatest swimmer, but I went from the ledge and I swam over to help him because he was asking for help. And I came over, and the moment that I got to him, he put my head underwater to lift himself up. And I never forgot that because it was extremely scary, because now I was drowning and we were both going to drown together because he was trying to save his life. I was going to help him, but I ended up drowning with him, right? Or he would drown me because it's survival at that point. And he actually, Robert Greene is talking about that. He's saying that you want to go help somebody. You want to be the, let's say, good Samaritan. However, life, sometimes misfortune falls on people, right? And they do need help. And I think that we should be able to help them, but we have to be aware that they can also pull you down. So helping them maybe would have been grabbing the lifeguard or notifying a couple other people, figuring out like how to help him, or maybe if I was able to help him, by calling, let's say, the aides and stuff and getting other people to help, because at the end of the day I couldn't help him. And in a business setting, he talks about your emotions, and it's extremely important to protect them, because if you're around somebody that's very negative, they will pull you down with them. I remember I was maybe 21, 22, around that age, and I was working in an office setting. And there was one particular person in the office that was very, very negative. I think that this person lived off of drama. You know how some people, you need food to survive. This person, I think, needed drama to survive, needed some sort of chaos in their life. And I'm not coming from a judgment perspective, I'm just coming from there was always an issue going on in their life. And they always wanted to share about it, talk about it. And I wasn't interested. And I noticed that the more I hung around that person, which I was in an office setting, I was only a few feet away from them for several years. The more that negativity started wearing down on me. It eventually got to the point where I remember going to management, going to the higher up, and saying this person this person needs to go. This person is like a cancer to the group. And with cancer, you need to extract it and then treat, right? If you can. And so that was my perspective, but I didn't have the power to do so. I wasn't able to, fire anybody or anything. I was just an employee there. However, the moment that this person was no longer working with the organization, which took years for this to happen, eventually the negativity it got so much that they had to leave the office setting. And the moment that they left, it was like a huge cloud was lifted, a huge weight was lifted off of the office that was always kind of like in a just in a negative state, a state of, you had to hear what was going on. It was constant, right? And and I never forgot that either, right? And so I started applying that to um, associations in business, customers, team members who you work with. Like, if the people that you work with you can't control, you can't hire, fire them, let's say, or maybe you are in a management position, and that's something to keep an eye on, right? But negative people are really good at hiding it to management, but it spreads amongst the team. So one thing that I would say is, I began to, in a team setting, if I was in an environment where there was a negative person um, that always had something going on, I just would stay away from them. I wasn't necessarily trying to help or hear their situations. I just wanted to stay away and focus on the positive. Now, this is in a business setting, right? Life is different. If this is a family member, this is somebody who needs help. I'm not saying not to help, but what I'm saying is, in a business setting, these people can pull you in and pull you down. And in business, in sales especially, but no, in customer service, in any business, the emotions have to be in a positive state. When a customer calls into an office, or when a customer sends in an email and asks, "Oh, hi, how are you?" or whatever, they don't care how you are for the most point, for the most of the time. They just want their issue resolved, and they want somebody to help them with it, and they want somebody who will do it with a smile on their face. Now, we're all human. We all have issues. But one of the practices that I would do was, when I would walk into an office, when I would walk into an appointment, I just said, "Hey, the moment I walk in here, nothing is going on in my life. I need to be in a positive state, and I need to be fully aware of what's going on, and not bring in negativity." Right? If something was going on a personal basis, there's no need to necessarily share, is the way I would look at it, to a business setting. And in law number 10, he's saying, avoid the unhappy and the unlucky. And when you are in a sales environment, in a customer service environment, our role is to be positive. Our role is to be happy. I recently was looking at getting some internet services, and the person that I was on the phone with was extremely pushy. Um, it pushed you to the point where, I already had said, "Hey, I'm calling to get information on the internet services, but I'm not calling to sign up today. I'm not going to sign up today. I made a decision." It began to uh, almost, call me out in a certain way, and began it's so, this is somebody who maybe isn't that experienced in sales, and started to attack the customer because he wasn't getting the sale. um, and I thought it was very, very unprofessional. And I think situations like that, like, it a customer, they say a customer is always right. No, not necessarily. If a customer is mistreating you, if a customer is extremely negative, you don't have to hear all that. I think you have the ability to choose your customers to a certain extent. I remember in some settings, I could just tell right off the bat, when I was trying to set an appointment, that a customer was extremely problematic, extremely, let's say, had a lot going on in their life, couldn't commit to an appointment, couldn't commit to a time, couldn't commit to getting even information over the phone. So, I would give them my best foot forward, and if they didn't reciprocate, I moved on. I wasn't going to dwell or follow up with that person, um, let's say, more than, my normal protocol would call for. And um, and going back to law number 10, and avoiding these people, when you do that, you begin to associate with people who are positive. When you're staying away from the negativity and the people that always have drama in business, whether it's customers or team members, you begin to hang around the people that have positive things going on. And that is also infectious, but in a good way, right? It's infectious because these people are doing things with their life. They're very driven. They're pushing forward. They're learning new things. They're challenging themselves, and maybe you as well. And those are the people that by saying no to the others, you're saying yes to more opportunity to get into a better state of mind. And so I think Robert Greene nails it. I think he nails it when he's saying that they can pull you down. And I'm sure you can relate to many situations, whether personal or business, where somebody that you're trying to help, it just ends up maybe taking advantage or not taking on your help, and you end up in a tough spot also. So it's just being aware of that, that look, we want to help, but up to a certain point. And I think that can help you also in a business setting. Thanks for watching, guys.